Hello, dear friends. I, Dr. Shimsher Singh, welcome you all to my YouTube channel Pharma Learning. Today, I am going to discuss with you about the zebrafish. That means, what are the various guidelines according to which you can maintain the zebrafish, how you can collect the blood from the zebrafish, how you can administer the drug to the zebrafish, and how you can clean the tank as well as how you can maintain the various constituents. Suppose if you want to eliminate nitrogenous waste, if you want to eliminate chlorine and some of the other waste from the water, how you can perform these type of the experiments. Now coming to zebrafish, the zebrafish, which is a very small animal used in case of experimental pharmacology. Now, why the zebrafish is preferred? There are few things I will discuss with you. That zebrafish, which is a small animal, aquatic animal, easy to maintain, easy to breed, as well as there is a no excessive cost which is required to maintain the zebrafish in a experimental lab. So that's why nowadays most of the scientific lab, they are preferring the zebrafish as a animal model, zebrafish as a model to screen the various drugs, the drugs which will be used as a neuroprotective, as a, you can say, hepatoprotective, or for the so many other things. So that's why this zebrafish, how you can maintain, what are the physical facilities which are to be required and which are to be maintained in your institutes. So going firstly, that if I will look for the building, corridor and utility like in rodents, that means your building, corridor and other walls, that should be durable, that should be moisture proof, and that should be seamless. Other thing which is very important, that there should be a draining pipes, electrical connections that should be accessible. These are the basic things as per the CPC. Now what is the corridor and wall? That should be rust free, and there should be a proper cycling of this air, as well as there should be a maintenance of the room temperature, because fish cannot survive at a too high temperature and fish cannot survive at a too low temperature. So this is required to be maintained. So regarding the experimental procedure, it is a very important part, because in this video I will discuss all the aspects of the zebrafish. So you listen very carefully and up to the last of this video. Now how you can handle? So that mean it is very important that in some experiments it is easy to take a rodent from one area to another area. It is very easy that if you want to measure the body weight of the rodent. But in case of zebrafish, it is a big problem, that if you keep a zebrafish out of water, then zebrafish will easily die, because it is an aquatic animal, it cannot live without oxygen. So that's why whenever you keep zebrafish out from the water, that time should not be more than 30 seconds. If you will keep a fish out of water for more than 30 seconds, then there will be a problem with your experiment. Might be if you keep it for 40 seconds, your zebrafish again can survive, but a zebrafish may suffer from hypoxia. And suppose if you are doing a such type of practical where you want to check some cardiac effect of the drug effect on the lungs, particularly pulmonary type of the disorders, in that case, if you will keep a fish out of the tank, out of the water for more than 30 seconds, then it is must that zebrafish either can be die or either will suffer from the hypoxia like condition. The second thing, if you will do surgery, and in case of surgery, it is must that we should prefer a adult zebrafish. The zebrafish that should be having a age, or that should be having a lifespan more than at least 2 months. So that means adult zebrafish are required. Similarly, I will talk in case of rodents. You always prefer a rodent with the age more than 12 weeks. At least if a rodent is having a age of more than 3 months, then they are preferable for the experimental purpose. The third thing which is important to be noted on, that how you can give a drug to the zebrafish and how much of the total volume that you can administer to the zebrafish. In case of rodent, it is very easy that you can give a maximum 1 ml per 100 gram of the rat. Now basically it varies from root to root in case of rodents as per the guideline. But in case of zebrafish, most preferably 2 to 3 routes are used. Either you directly deliver the drug to the water if you are putting a single fish in a 1 liter of water. Then the second will you can administer the drug directly orally, and the third you can administer the drug intraperitoneally. Now in this case, if you are doing experimental work in your lab and you want to administer any drug to the zebrafish, that should not be, the content should not be more than 1% of the total body weight. It means it will be approximate 1 ml per 100 gram, because this figure is as per the guideline of the rodents. Now the important thing, which is, this is very important for you people, for the scientists who are working on the zebrafish, that what will be the site and what will be the total volume that you can take from a zebrafish, that means total blood volume. Because in case of experimental work, there is a need that we want to check some of our enzymes, some of our protein markers in the blood of the zebrafish, likely we do in rodents. But in case of zebrafish, there is a big hurdle, that there is a big problem, that we cannot take a maximum volume, because the total volume present in the zebrafish is already less. So how you can, the site will be a either dorsal aorta or either the gills. Suppose if this is a zebrafish, you know that if you want to take a blood from the zebrafish, this is a dorsal aorta, because this is showing here that you can take from the this artery or this vein by using some of the you can say syringe. The big syringe cannot be used, you should prefer Hamilton syringe. So by using the Hamilton syringe, you can take how much volume, that if you are taking a blood from, you can say, from the gills or from this dorsal aorta, the maximum volume you can take is from 1 microliter to 1 point, that is 1 microliter to 12 microliter. So basically, as per the guidelines, if you will take a more than 12 microliter, then there will be a problem to the zebrafish. Zebrafish can be die. Other thing, the minimum volume will be around 1 to 1.2 or 1.3, like that. So this is the volume of the blood that you can take or you can withdraw from the zebrafish using Hamilton syringe. Which type of Hamilton syringe you can prefer? 10 microliter, 25 microliter, like that. So the things that you should be carefully noted on, that whenever you will take a blood from the zebrafish, you should not do any kind of injury there, because injury can lead to change in behavior of zebrafish, as well as the injury can be responsible for any kind of infections. So it is must to be keep in mind whenever you will withdraw a blood from a zebrafish. No, these are the things, that how you can maintain the quality of water for the zebrafish, because it is very important, because it is a aquatic animal, always live in the water. So water should be clean, water should be free from contamination. So how the guideline provide that how you can maintain the water? The first thing is temperature of the water. The temperature should be nearly 28.5, and it will be from 26 to 29 degrees centigrade. Now testing frequency, you should check the temperature of the water on the daily basis, so that you can analyze what is the temperature of the water in a tank. The second thing, the management. If the water is cool, then how you can warm it? You should put some warm water in that, and again you should check it by using some thermometers. Now the second thing is a pH, that the normal range of pH of water where you are keeping a zebrafish should be nearly 7 to 8, and it should be daily check on the daily frequency levels. And if your water pH is low, then you can increase the pH by adding you can say HCl, hydrochloric acid. And if your water pH is high, then you can slow down it by using a sodium bicarbonate. So be remember that if your pH of the water where you have kept the zebrafish is low, you can increase it by using HCl, and if it is high, then you can keep it around 7 to 8 by using sodium bicarbonate. The third thing is conductivity. So conductivity should be in microsiemens, and saltinity is in the parts per thousand. So that means how it is. The basically the conductivity range as per the guideline of the water where you are keeping zebrafish should be 200, 300, and saltinity should be 0.5 to 2, and it should be checked on the daily basis. So why it is required? Because the salt level is necessary for the zebrafish, because it is a aquatic, and that fish always survive in a sea water where there is a presence of salt. So that's why if your water conductivity is low and saltinity is, you can say, high, you should keep here. You can use a water of RO, reverse osmosis, and you can use a deionized water. And suppose if conductivity is too high, then you too slow, then you can improve it, and by slowly adding some salts in that. Sodium chloride, it can be added in the particular water where you are keeping the zebrafish. The fourth thing is hardness of the waters. So parts per million, that means what is hardness? Firstly, it should be necessary to understand, because there is a two type of water. Either is a soft water, either is a hard water. Basically, the water which we use for drinking and the water which we obtained from the RO is a soft water, and there is some water from the which is called as a hard water, that is water from the wells, the waters from the nature, that is during the raining. This is called as a hard water. So if anybody will use continuously hard water for a long time, it can cause kidney failure, it can cause liver failure. But simultaneously fish can adapt itself, because fish can survive in soft water as well as in hard water. So suppose you can maintain the soft water, and you can maintain the hardness of the water, and the hardness should be around 100 to 200, because the hardness of the water which is available from the raining or from the wells is always above than 500, like 1000, 1200, like that. So you should maintain it by using RO water, and you can maintain by adding some salts. So next thing, how you can maintain alkalinity, how you can keep it alkaline parts per millions. That means alkaline range should be 50 to 75, because the water should not be acidic. In the acidic, fish will be having some behavior problem, and fish can be having a less survival rate. So water should be alkaline, and you can maintain alkalinity by using sodium bicarbonate. Suppose if water is acidic, you can keep it alkaline by adding sodium bicarbonate. You will prepare the solution of sodium bicarbonate, and you can maintain the alkalinity. Now next thing is the dissolved oxygen, because oxygen is very important for the survival of zebrafish. You know must that if the oxygen is low, then zebrafish show a poking, and zebrafish always travel on the top zones. Now proper oxygen should required. This oxygen saturation should be around 6 to 8, and if the saturation of oxygen is low, you can increase aeration, because we provide aeration in the labs, that is oxygen in the labs in the form of aeration. And suppose if you are looking that our death rate of zebrafish is high, or zebrafish is mostly traveling on the topmost zone, or show some kind of poking like opening the mouth, now you can increase the aeration in that particular system. Next is a chlorine. The what will be the chlorine content? The chlorine either should be very very low, or either should near to zero level. Now, if the chlorine is high, that also should be analyzed in the tank on the daily basis. And if the chlorine is high, then you can put some sodium thiosulfate. It can reduce the chlorination power of the water. So basically the things which are necessary. Another thing, nitrogenous waste. How you can remove the nitrogen waste, how you can remove gases, and how you can keep the fish at a normal level. The first thing is total ammonia, because fish and rodents, whenever you visit to animal house, or whenever you visit to zebrafish during the morning level, so whenever you open the gate, you will see that there will be a lot of ammonia. This has been seen in zebrafish as well as in rodents like rat, mice, or some other animals. Now the level of ammonia should be less than 1 or 0 to 1 parts per mole. That should be checked on the weekly basis. And this can be managed either by removing the water solid, or either by increasing the water exchange. So what you should do, you should exchange the water on the daily basis. The second thing is nitrite parts per mole, that should be around 0 to 0.5 or less than 0.5. And if nitrite is more, then the two things should be there. Either you keep the water alkaline, the second thing you keep the removal of all the solid from the water, and you should exchange the water with the clean water on the daily basis. The third thing is important, nitrates. The level of nitrate should less than 50 parts per mole, and it should be better if it is around 25, 30, 35 like that. And it should be checked on the weekly basis. And simply nitrate can be removed by exchanging the water. The old water should be exchanged with the fresh water. Carbon dioxide, it is important that it should be either close to zero, and it should not be not more than 15 parts per mole. So how you can do, you can increase the aeration of the oxygen in that tank, or either you can remove the solid waste from that tank. So these are the things which I have discussed with you, that how you can maintain the zebrafish, and how you can maintain the zebrafish, and how you can keep the zebrafish healthy. So be careful whenever you will use a zebrafish for the experimental purpose. You should must like, watch, subscribe this pharma learning channel. All of you are welcome. Thank you very much.